Hey there! We're here today to talk about the Lunch Puppy app, which will show events that are hosting food trucks in the area. So it's a series of events for food trucks specifically, with a little bit of something else at each event. I started out with the main activity here, which is extending to base activity. And base activity, well, it does have a little bit of the Firebase auth here, so to launch the sign-in flow right now, I'm already logged in. And base activity extends to app compat activity, and it holds a lot of the Google Auth stuff. The reason I decided to do it this way is so that this sign out function is accessible on all the views. So you can click up here and you're able to log out. So base activity handles most of the Google authentication, and we're extending almost all the activities to this to give it that logout functionality from wherever you're at. And the main activity is no different, but it just launches um, the sign-in process rather than having any logout stuff. Then I created some of these XML layout files. So we have view event, gallery, picks and truck, you can see here, and then the map activity, you can get to that when you go into the view events activity. And we'll get to that in a little bit here. I have some data classes here for event. Fave is not used, but location, menu, menu item. Our picks is kind of like developer picks or, critic favorites type of thing. And truck. And then I have the view activity classes which implement these layouts. And then we do have a couple additional layouts here that are used as recycler views. So they basically fill in the cards when you go to a specific one. Here we'll go to view events, and it fills in each one of these cards, so you can reuse the card each time for each event. So once you log in, you go to the home activity, which is the one we were at previously. Here's the back button. And it has the toolbar, which allows you to log out like we talked about. And then it just has these button actions, which move it on to whichever activity we want to go to. We can look at the event activity here, which is the one we went to before. And we are using the database helper and a recycler view and an event adapter, for the events, to be more specific. It's loading in the base layout for the events. It's loading in the toolbar here, and then it's going to get the information from the database, and it's loading in the cards for that recycler view, and it's doing that through the adapter. And we're doing that by calling load the events from the database. And then down here is just the back button functionality, which takes you back to the home activity. The event adapter We start by setting up our views. So we have image views and text views, and we call them by ID. And then we create this holder view, which is inflating the list item view. So it's creating these cards, and then we're filling in these cards each time we loop over the list. We fill them out with the information. And then down here for these specific cards, we added click events on the locations, which will take you to the map view. We'll see how this does. Computer's not loving running the emulator and recording, but looks like it's going to work. So I set this as a default location, downtown Green Bay, and you can see this one's Titletown, so it's over here by Lambeau. So the blue dot is the quote-unquote current location, and then Lambeau Field is over there. And then that's pretty similar to how most of these activities work. The gallery activity is not using an adapter. It's getting all the data. We're just passing in these online URLs to show a video and 2 images. And bringing that up now. So it's got these 2 images as well as a video, which takes some time to load here. And the map activity is okay. It's not loading that. See if we can get it going again. The map activity is taking some information that it's getting from the event adapter, which is the location information, and it is putting that into the map and the card under the map. So it gives you some information on the location and event, and then it's using the received latitude and longitude from the database to create a marker on the map. We can take a look at the home activity here. And pretty much all of the activities have this app toolbar, which is just this lunch puppy thing with the logout button. Some of them have the back button. This one has the image view with the text view inside. So we have the dogs and no more chasing cars or lunch trucks. I used a guideline here which separates this in half, and then we're placing the buttons in there and using the different constraints to designate which one goes where. And then we'll take the event activity as an example here. So we have the app toolbar again. This one has the back button. Then we have a text view here up at the top that says events, and then we're using our recycler view. And that's what we're loading in with the adapter. And that's templated out with the list item event here, which has an image view right here. and then a couple of text views which display the rest of the information. So we have the event page. We can view the trucks. Which very similar. We're filling in those cards with the truck adapter and the truck recycler view. Then we have our gallery, which we looked at. I shouldn't have went back into that. See how it does. And then we have our picks, which are the menu items. Again, a very similar setup here with the cards, and we're using an adapter and the top picks recycler view. And then from pretty much any view, you're able to log out. And then that'll take you back to the login screen where you can go ahead and log back into the app. And that is most of it. We have the Lunch Puppy database helper here, which pretty much holds the different endpoints, so to speak, for getting the information. We have the trucks here. We can get all the events, which also gets some location information. And then we have get all picks, which is our recommended stuff as well.